How shall we show up? Like we did today in worship. This movement has to be a feeling of togetherness, that everybody matters, that the gifts that we bring nourish all of us, that when we show up for someone else, we are also showing up for ourselves. Climate justice ought to be the great unifier. If we haven't gotten it until now, this is it. How many of you that are UUs or in churches that have had a conversation about the eighth principle? Okay, if you haven't, go back, look it up, see what it's about, and what we're talking about is something that's imperative to our spiritual journey, which is building the beloved community by dismantling racism and oppression in ourselves and in our institutions. We need that principle to help write our course. I want to share with you two resources. One is an old film some of you may have seen. I would ask you to get it out, get a copy, show a lot of people. It's called The Corporation, right? You're familiar with that? We are in a culture war, but I think the culture war that we're in really is the corporations against the people of this country. And that film will help to give you a framework for it. And one of the ways that white supremacy works, and I guess we have to say capitalism too, is it keeps us pitted against each other so that we cannot unify and find our power to really call accountability where it needs to be called, to the people who hold undue power and authority over our lives. We must change that. And we've got to come together in order for it to happen. So one resource is The Corporation. The other is a new anthology. Well, it's not new, 2018. It's a book named Ghost Fishing, Ghost. It is the first anthology to focus solely on poetry with an eco-justice bent. Has anyone heard of this? Go get a copy. A culturally diverse collection entering a field where nature poetry anthologies have historically lacked diversity. This book presents a rich terrain of contemporary environmental poetry with roots in many cultural traditions. And I would like to close by sharing with you a poem that is in this anthology, written by the distinguished poet Everett Hoagland, who is a Unitarian Universalist. The name of it is Invocation. Architect of icebergs, snowflakes, crystals, rainbows, sand grains, dust motes, atoms. Mason, whose tools are glaciers, rain, rivers, ocean. Chemist who made blood of seawater, bone of minerals in stone, milk of love. Whatever you are, I know this. Spinner, you are everywhere, in all the ever-changing above, whirling around us. Yes, in the loose strands, in the rough weave of the common cloth threaded with our DNA, on the hubbed, spoked spinning wheel that is this world, solar system, galaxy, universe. Help us to see ourselves in all creation, and all creation in ourselves in one another. Remind those of us who like connections made with similes, metaphors, symbols. All of us are. Everything is already connected. Remind us, as the oceans go, so go we. As the air goes, so go we. As other life forms on earth go, so go we. As our planet goes, so go we. Great poet who inspired, in the beginning was the Word. Edit our thoughts so our ethics are our politics and our actions are the afterlives of our words. Amen. May it be so.